Hello, I'm Binzer Flynn, and welcome to the Flinncast.
So, Juice, things you missed yesterday at D&D. We killed a crate dragon. We captured Imposter Varen and handed him over to Jabba the Hutt. He now owes us a favor. And we're on Dathomir trying to help the Night Sisters somehow.
Now, when Kryus says we killed a crate dragon and Varen's imposter, he's leaving out a lot of gory details.
I was leaving to the imagination. All right, fine. Varen shot out the Great Dragon's eyes, and Artemis eviscerated it from the taint.
Okay, then.
Yeah, Artemis base, that crate dragon has two assholes now.
Literally.
And she proceeded to, and this was a full-grown male, she proceeded to find the crate dragon pearl inside it, like in its gizzard, without any life science knowledge or anything. She just kept carving through it till she found it.
Wow.
So I'm guessing Artemis's armor needs a car wash, big time.
A little bit.
And everyone rolled ones pretty well all night except for Kryus.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that.
true.
I think Raptor rolled, 5 or 6 ones? Are we ready to start our all Sonic the Hedgehog movie special?
Hell yes.
Woo!
Okay, you know what though? I saw that it's actually doing pretty good. It's like number 1 last weekend or whatever. And but you know what? This will forever be the movie that will go down in history that the creators actually listened to the fans.
Yeah, I heard that it's like the top grossing video game. Like, it's the best opening weekend for a video game movie ever, which is cool. And yeah, like you said, I'm really glad that they, listened to the fans and redid all the character models and stuff. So I hope it does make some money.
I mean, it's one thing to listen to the fans, but this is listening to the fans and going back to make changes. Like, that is mind blowing to me.
Well, I don't blame them. I mean, when the original trailer ran out, we had probably all saw it. That thing was hideous.
Oh God, it was so bad.
I actually didn't watch it on purpose.
Did you see any of the inevitable memes that came out of it? Because they were gold.
Oh, for sure. I saw the memes, but I actually went out of my way to not watch the OG trailer.
This thing reminded me of Cats. But yeah, no, apparently this actually made more money opening weekend than Pikachu did.
Really? That's surprising.
Let's just stay at opening weekend, because we'll see the longevity of Sonic versus Pikachu, and I don't think Sonic's going to win that one.
I would agree. I also heard Jim Carrey's actually quite good in this as the villain.
He is an excellent mustache twirly villain.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Well, he certainly is crazy enough to pull off Robotnik pretty decently.
Okay, that is actually my one legitimate question for this movie. Did they call him Dr. Robotnik, or did they use the Eggman nickname?
I think he actually is called Robotnik.
Let me go check IMDb right quick.
That is I played Sonic 1 and 2, so they have actual history of, Dr. Kintobor becoming Dr. Robotnik, and then the cartoons came out, and I'm like, Eggman, what are they talking about? I'm old.
So according to the IMDb page, he is Dr. Ivo Robotnik.
There you go.
And yes, Sega Genesis was like my early childhood, so I played tons and tons of Sonic.
Oh yeah, even to this day, if I hear music, in a YouTube video or something from like the Sega Genesis era, it really tickles my nostalgia.
Is that what they call it these days? Tickling your nostalgia?
I'm tickling my nostalgia right now.
Ew.
We've accidentally ended up talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
But I'm actually interested in going to see it now that it's because not only does it have a 68% positive Rotten Tomatoes rating, it's actually apparently also rating fairly high with fans as well.
I know you guys might be a little old for this one, but Fox Kids Saturday morning cartoons used to have a Sonic TV show, and that was the shit when it was on.
I actually do remember it. I don't think I've watched it, but I do remember it being on.
I remember, I remember watching Fox Kids because I was watching the Transformer cartoon at the time.
So yeah, the Sonic the Hedgehog has a 65%. The 65%. Yes, I can't speak tonight. 65% professional reviewer rating. So it's it's rated fresh now, and a 94% audience score.
Wow, 94.
That's pretty good then, because usually the audiences are worse to the movie than the critics are.
I'll be honest, I usually pay attention more to the audience score than the critic score, because the critic score and the audience score will vary wildly. And I tend to find I agree more with the audience than the critics and some stuff. But if both of them are agreeing that it's fairly decent. So this will definitely be something I'm probably going to go watch eventually.
Oh, and it's the Parks and Rec guy that plays Sonic. I did not know that.
Well, if you go see it, Juice, you can bring us your review for a future cast. We mentioned Birds of Prey at D&D last night. Some people have seen it, and some of us are trying to find a chance to go see it. But Vander likes it, so that's, that's an opinion I take into consideration.
Merida also really liked it. It was okay. I realize this is not a movie for me, though, so that's okay. I'm okay with that.
I mean, I hear it's good, but I am kind of disappointed that we didn't get a Gotham Sirens movie with Catwoman and Poison Ivy, which I kind of hope they will still do in the future.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't do that. So, I know that this was based off of, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. Oh, The Birds of Prey, duh, because that's the title of the movie. I just think had they done Gotham City Sirens with Poison Ivy and Catwoman, that would have been more recognizable characters that maybe would have garnered more attention, I guess, because of the cast, all the people who are in Birds of Prey, the only one I know well-ish enough would have been Black Canary, and that's it. Right. Huntress, sure, a little bit, but the cop, I have no idea who she is. Renee,
Montoya. That would have been more of a comic reader type thing, but so the Sirens would have made it high profile more. Yeah.
Meredith is shouting at me from the next room.
Well, we'll wait till she can join us sometime when we'll do a proper Birds of Prey review. So a couple little tidbits I've seen on Reddit, of course, the last couple days. The rumor, Star Wars rumor of Project Luminous, which might be the next Star Wars saga, could be set 300 to 400 years before Battle of Yavin, which means potentially a Yoda in his prime.
Oh, that'd be kind of neat. The interesting part about that particular time period is that we got nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's the Knights of the Old Republic is 3,000 years before where we're at right now. We've never done anything in that 300-year BBY period. I read the other day that they've come up with a new time scale yet again, but I want to stick with BBY and ABY because...
Oh, what is it?
I have to look it up. Hang on one sec.
But yeah, that prequel time period, it is a big chunk of we don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, well, I think they would be, anything between Knights of the Old Republic and Battle of Yavin is pretty much wide open. I mean, they could destroy the universe and then rebuild it again, and we'd never know the difference.
Even the Old Republic online game is still over 2,000 years. It's after KOTOR, but still thousands of years before Classic era.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, massive things could happen, and something could happen that would erase it from memory, and the rebellion and the Empire would never know what had happened.
Look how fast people forgot about Jedi in the classic time period. That was 15 years, and people forget quick. And a lot happened in the space of about 50 years in our classic era.
Exactly.
The other thing I saw just today was someone did a fan cast of who they want to be Grand Admiral Thrawn in a movie, and they thought Charles Dance, who played Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones, would be the perfect Thrawn. And I really agree with that.
So in the visual dictionary for Rise of Skywalker, they have now redone the like ABY BBY with BSI, before Starkiller Incident, or ASI, after Starkiller Incident, a reference to the destruction of the Hosnian system in The Force Awakens.
Okay, well, they just basically used this exact same idea, just shifted into the new era.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Charles Dance. Possibly.
Oh, yes, Charles.
They're going to have to de-age him somewhat, so he looks a little more younger for Thrawn. But I can see it.
Why
Now,
not just use Mads Mikkelsen? He already has the voice down.
I would be really into that too. Even if they only used Charles Dance as the voice actor, that alone would be worth him doing it because he's got a voice.
I mean, hell, I just looked up Charles Dance Thrawn, and there's a picture of Grand Admiral Cumberbatch here. I mean, there's actually a fair, and actually he doesn't look, he has the face for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a lot of different actors that have that angular face that would work well for Thrawn. So we'll see what happens.
In actual casting news, Mark Hamill's getting some plum roles. Apparently he's actually been offered the Vesemir role for Witcher Season 2. The dream has come true.
Oh, has he really? I thought you were going somewhere completely different with that one. What I would
I
have thought
heard
you were
you
much
did.
more excited for.
I heard you. You must be referring to the Skeletor casting.
Yes, I was.
I'm very excited about that, although I'm a little worried we're just going to get more Joker voice.
That's what Merida expressed to me the other day. She's like, I hope he just doesn't do the Joker voice as Skeletor, because that's the voice he uses for everything.
Yeah, but you know what? I love Mark Hamill. I'm willing to give him a chance. And so I actually had to look it up. I only heard about this yesterday. I didn't know if it was going to be a real show or an animated show. I mean, of course it's an animated show, but I had to check. So just thinking, would they be crazy enough to give us a live action He-Man show? No, unfortunately not.
I don't think so.
But, I mean, we had the Dolph Lundgren He-Man, and I think that killed off any hope of doing a live action He-Man ever again.
Oh God. But if they, I haven't watched it yet, but apparently the She-Ra animated Netflix series is quite good. And if a He-Man one is half as good as the Voltron reboot, I am so in.
I'm very happy if they did the same treatment on He-Man as they did for Voltron.
And of course, going down the line, I would want them to do Thundercats eventually. But I watched the Thundercats and the He-Man reboot, early, like, what was it, 2012 or something? And for the time they came out, they were actually really good.
I'm kind of amused how Netflix is like banking on just buying old cartoon properties from the 80s and just redoing them, because they know that probably most of their audience is in their mid 30s. Well, okay, their audience is all over the place, but a lot of their audience is probably the late 30s to early 50s demo.
So me.
And me.
Yes, congratulations, you Gen Xers. You get pandered to for once.
We're Gen Xers. We don't give a fuck. But you know what? They would have got me hooked into Voltron just on the nostalgia factor, but the writing and animation was so fucking good that it was more than I could have dreamed of.
I was so happy for that series. I waited with bated breath for every season. So I'm looking at some of the other, so the new He-Man that's coming out. There's some more familiar names that are showing up here. I'm looking at Lena Headey, Chris Wood, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Phil Lamar.
Yeah, it's a who's who of voice actors.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy. I mean, geez, this is gonna definitely be interesting.
I just assume Phil Lamar is going to be in everything. But he's so good.
He is.
Does it say who Lena Headey's voicing?
Lena Headey is going to be doing Evil Lynn.
Oh, perfect.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to be doing Tila.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
Lena Cunningham's going to be Man at Arms. And Chris Wood is going to be doing He-Man / Prince Adam.
Awesome. I'm even more stoked now.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really good cast. Oh, and Susan Eisenberg is going to be doing the Sorceress.
So the other casting news, the guy, I always fuck up his last name, but the Tormund Giantsbane from Game of Thrones has been cast into season 2 of Witcher as well. I think as another Witcher. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Raptor.
Okay,
I saw the casting, but I don't recognize the character. It's in one of the books I haven't read yet.
One of the best parts of the Game of Thrones show, in my opinion.
Now, if we could only convince Phoenix to do a cosplay.
He would look so good in that.
We just need to buy some IKEA furs and just put them on him. There you go. Give him a sword or an axe.
That's all they did anyways to make cloaks and shit, is they just bought IKEA fur.
Okay, before we get to Picard, the only other thing on my list I wanted to talk about is, what do you guys think of the new Pattinson Batman suit?
I didn't get a good enough look at it to judge it.
I haven't seen it, have no opinion yet.
I've seen more concept art for it than the actual suit. It looks pretty good.
Talking suit? Okay.
Yeah, the suit.
I did see. Okay, I'm sorry.
What do you think I was talking about?
I don't know. Something else about Batman. There's so much Batman out there, it's crazy. The suit, interesting. Very armory. It's going to make some of our cosplayers very happy to build that.
Cough, Ragnarok, cough.
It's I don't know. I guess I'd have to see the whole thing to see if it's gonna make sense to me or not. But first impression, interesting.
A lot of people are comparing it to Daredevil's costume from the Netflix series.
Yeah, there does seem to be a bit of similarity. The suit in general, I think it's working for me so far. But my thing with it, and a few other people have said the same thing that I've read, is we're not crazy about the chest symbol. And apparently he's made it out of the pieces of the gun that killed his parents, which, I mean, the older I get, the more I think Batman's fucking crazy. But that seems extra crazy.
Angst. But yes, I agree with you. It is a little silly.
It doesn't have the little ears on the symbol. I can't get over that either.
So I just posted the full color one that, rather than that red, black screen.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, it looks, I mean, the bat looks a little weird, but whatever. But the rest of it looks armory and Batman-y.
It does look pretty good. Yeah, like even the symbol looks good. Like I said, just the little ears on it I'm used to seeing, but knowing that he made it out of the gun, it's just so weird to me.
Adds a little bit of extra lore, which I can see.
It's not turning me away. I am still very keen to see this movie when it's done.
At least it looks like he can move his head in this one.
Yeah, really. All right, who's up for some Picard?
Woo.
Fire away.
Where do we start on this one?
Romulan Battle Sisters.
I love the idea of that.
Romulan space elves.
They specifically used the word nun, too, didn't they, at one point?
They did.
Killer nuns. I dig it.
This is the most, like, Romulan world building we've ever gotten, ever.
It really is.
Like, I find that TNG and a little bit of Deep Space Nine did a lot of Klingon world building, where, you know, Picard helped elect the Chancellor, and then Martok on Deep Space Nine all the time with the war effort and stuff really helped build Klingon culture up, I guess, because I didn't watch the original series, so I don't know how much of that they did there. But, like, this is doing, like, worlds of good for the Romulan, like, I don't know.
No, you're right. It's really flushing. I mean, yeah, so the original series, I mean, they built the Romulans out as much as they did the Klingons. Like you said, TNG and DS9 definitely did a lot for the Klingon culture. Voyager was pretty much the Borg. Enterprise,
a little bit
probably
of
more the Andorian. Yeah, Andorian,
a little bit of
Tellar,
Vulcan.
and Vulcan. Yeah,
To Paul.
exactly. But Picard, yeah, this is definitely the Bible for Romulan society. This series.
And it's working for me. I'm really digging it.
I like the fact that their ethos is you tell the truth and exactly what you feel every time you talk to someone, which is the exact opposite of normal Romulan society.
Right. I think it was the episode name, Absolute Candor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their philosophy. Which I think is going to be friggin' hilarious in later episodes when we have Picard's sword wielding assassin bodyguard start getting put into different situations. What's going to come out his mouth, I suspect, is going to be fucking hilarious.
I predict it's going to be like hanging around with Angel. No filter. You're going to get what's on her mind.
Yep, absolutely.
Or it's going to
no
be
filter.
snarky Legolas.
Snarky Legolas. I like that.
So I liked that we got the first part of the episode where they're doing like the flashback or whatever, where Picard is on whatever the heck that planet was called, and it's like, yes, colonized settlers, yes. We got to see a little bit of like the evacuation stuff, which was kind of cool to like set the tone for like this was like Picard's quasi crown jewel at the moment, and then he returns and it's a shithole.
Yeah, they're sort of giving us the backstory in pieces in each episode, which is kind of working for me too. Because I thought it was just going to be all, like you said, cries about the tell not show, but they are actually getting around to showing us some pieces.
It seems to be the episode flow in the last, actually, pretty much most of the episodes, except for maybe the first one, is that the very beginning they'll show a piece of Picard's past or a part of the past, giving the background to the present day, and then they continue on with the episode.
Yeah, and I'm digging that approach.
It's definitely working for me too. It's nice to see some. It's nice to see some of the background as to what's made Picard who he is today. And he got around a lot. I was pretty impressed.
Two things I liked about this episode. Three things, actually. One, classic Romulan warbird was pretty neat to see. Two, we got 2 new emergency holograms on the whatever the heck the ship is called. And 3, Jerry Ryan.
Does Rios' ship actually have a name? Have we heard it?
The La Serena. That actually sounds Spanish, honestly.
Bringing up Spanish, we now know that the emergency tactical hologram is Spanish.
Yes, I think he might be my favorite so far.
So La Serena is Spanish for the mermaid.
Oh, cool. I like that.
That's a classic ship name. So yes, we got the emergency tactical hologram, and we also got the emergency hospitality hologram, which is leading a lot of people to believe that Rios might just be an ECH, an emergency command hologram that's just doing his thing.
That is a very interesting theory. I like that.
Oh, I really like that. I'm going to have to... if that plays out at the end, I will be very happy. The entire ship just run by holograms.
He is the ship. And so we have to watch now to see if he ever leaves the ship. Or if he does, is he wearing anything on his arm a la the Doctor?
Yeah, so far, he's not left the ship at all.
Because as we know, right, the EMH Mark 1 and the ECH were both Robert Picardo. So they both use the same, image or whatever. They just slap different programming on top of it.
Okay, so if it's revealed later in the series that it is actually the Doctor masquerading as a dashing pirate, I will shit my pants.
I can picture Robert Picardo doing that. He's
7 and 9 will sniff him out.
Of course she will.
For sure. I hope she's in, I think, all the remaining episodes, according to IMDb, I think.
So, did anyone get a very good look at the ship she was flying? Because I got some like old Delta Flyer vibes there.
Yeah, that's what I think somebody suggested online, that it was in fact the Delta Flyer.
Well, I guess it was.
I'm looking it up now.
Somewhere Tom Paris is crying.
I like to think that Tom Paris finally gets back to the Alpha Quadrant and says, fuck you, Starfleet, because he didn't want to be there anyway, and then goes into living a life of chop shop shuttles. It's like Pimp My Fleet or whatever.
Maybe they gave him a high-paying job somewhere to crank out Delta Flyers.
So I'm not seeing it online here so far.
Just fan wishful thinking, I guess. But it was a cool little ship, though.
Actually, it did remind me a lot of the flyer when I saw it. I'm trying to remember. It reminded me, and I bring it back to a StarCraft 2 reference. Zero Tool's ship.
Yeah, I can see it.
So I must say in this episode, and it happened when Rios said, I fucking hate that hospitality hologram. I'm over the cursing in Star Trek. I feel like now it's too much now. Gratuitous, I guess is the word.
And you see, this is the issue I had before. If they just started going overboard with it, then it just doesn't feel like Trek anymore. But it's there. It's happening. And not much we can do about it.
I guess we're used to, much more discipline on, Picard's old ship or whatever. And it makes sense. I know he's a piratey kind of character, but there's been pretty hardcore cursing in every episode for the last, 3 episodes or so. And it's just like, I'm like, yeah, you know what? All right, you're allowed to curse. We get it.
No, so I've noticed that it's only the humans that are swearing. The Romulans, and the other aliens, even the emergency holographs, I've noticed have not been swearing. So it's only been the humans so far.
So the director did an interview where somebody mentioned the whole swearing thing, and I'm trying to remember, I think his response was something along the lines of, every Star Trek prior to this has had the FCC gets a say because it was like a primetime on TV thing, right? This is the first Star Trek that isn't on TV in its natural state, because I know that Space or whatever the frig it's called now I think is playing the episodes, but like FCC doesn't touch anything that's on a streaming service. It's not on TV. So that's, anyways, he was like, the reason they didn't swear is because they couldn't swear on TV and they had to give a reason why nobody sweared.
That seems super paper thin to me. It really goes against the TNG, talking about how the human society had elevated itself. You know what I mean, Juice?
Yep.
But it's there. We're gonna have to contend with the odd F-bomb, apparently.
I mean, at least they aren't swearing every 8th word. So I mean, it's tolerable right now, and it so far it hasn't taken away from the overall mystique of the show. So I'll deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't care if there's cursing in shows and stuff. Like, I fucking curse all the fucking time. But, it's just, we're not used to it in Star Trek is the thing. That's why it seems weird to us.
I guess it just, it just goes to pointing how our film and television as a whole has developed, matured. I'm not sure which word you would properly use over the years. Regressed, some people would say, or gotten better. I mean, a lot of people are saying this is now the golden age of television with everything that's coming out. So
my thing is basically, I don't think we'll ever see a return to the, how do I put this? Like, we'll never see Trek return to like the TNG, not holier than thou, but like morality this, morality that.
A polished ideal?
More cerebral, air quotes. I don't think we ever will, because that doesn't sell TV anymore. Much to my chagrin, of course.
So what are we thinking of the, Elnor? Is that his name? What do we think of this guy?
Space Legolas.
Space Legolas. He's gonna chop heads and take names, as he already has done.
Yeah, he chopped that head real good. That was actually a really cool scene. Picard pulling that Romulans only sign off the bar fence and just throwing it down. I mean, he knows he's probably going to get his ass kicked, but he stands up for it anyway. I mean, like I said before, Picard, we have missed you, man.
I feel like that was a little on the nose, though.
That is true. That was definitely was a classic Picard moment.
So I noticed in this one, when it came to issuing orders, he deferred to Rios, like put his hands up like, oh, sorry, I'm not the captain. But in the last episode, Rios looked to him and he did the whole engage thing. So it's like, starting to feel, who's the boss here?
Well, when you've been a captain of your ship for so long, and then an admiral and such, it's really I can probably guess it's really hard for someone to go back to just be a passenger and not try and jump into the middle of things in a crisis.
The engage moment was pretty obviously fan service anyway, but I still loved it.
It was definitely cheesy, but I liked it anyway.
We're fans. It was for us.
Most definitely. But I liked it. But the old Romulan Warbird, I really liked that coming out. That's definitely fan service if I ever saw it.
Yeah, it looked cool too. I really liked it.
It definitely worked, and I liked the fact that it didn't move fast, didn't hit that hard. It showed its age. Of course, I was kind of surprised that towards the end, when its nacelle got chopped off by 7 and 9 ship, if I remember correctly, and it just didn't go kaboom. It just like limped off. So good on the safety systems on that ship for not shutting off the antimatter before it went boom. See, I'm getting all techno-babbly now.
That's okay. Star Trek has the best technobabble. At least they try to explain it, unlike Star Wars.
This is true.
It's the new, especially in the new movies. Star Wars is just playing fast and loose with everything to do with hyperspace. What was that thing they did? Hyperspace skipping? I'm like, you know what? If the Falcon could do that all the time, why didn't it?
For sure. Although they talk about how hard it was on the ship. Let's go to hyperspace inside a planet and then run into the planet because it's still there. So is anybody else getting a real Jamie and Cersei Romulan vibe from the brother and sister spies?
A little bit.
Like, she is creepy.
Just a little bit.
I was trying to place where I've seen her before, and Rainer reminded me she was Captain Cold's sister on the Flash show. Yeah, she's creepy.
Yeah, crawling into your brother's bed and almost friggin' seducing him. Yeah, that's starting to get the territory. Even I'm getting a little icky over.
Juice is like, I can put up with a lot of sick shit, but incest I draw the line at.
And not just incest, Romulan incest.
Oh my god.
I'm just trying to think. So we talked about like the Picard storyline, but I'm trying to remember anything else super relevant to the android daughter whose name totally escapes me at the moment. Storyline.
Soji.
Oh, there was that Soji. Thank you. There was that she said she was on the transport ship, but she wasn't. But I don't think there was very much more than that, other than like the setting up of the love scenes or whatever with the floor sliding and whatnot.
I think all of Dodge's and Soji's memories are all implants and faked anyway. I think when she called her mom, she's just whoever's behind everything, she's just in on it.
Oh, you could tell like the very first episode when not Soji, what's the other name? Wow.
Dodge?
Dodge.
When Dodge calls her mom, I'm not sure if you picked it up, but there was like a momentary pause, almost like a skip in the transmission, like a program was changing algorithms to do something different.
That's a great catch, actually, and it's probably very significant. That's good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if their air quotes mom was actually the doctor dude that Picard's looking for right now.
Oh yeah.
I could immediately tell when she called her mom the first time that wasn't her real mom. It just the way the way that transmission acted. I could at least tell that this is either a hologram or a computer generated transmission of some sort.
Looking forward to watching all the episodes in a row when the season's done, doing that second pass through and singing going, ah.
Yep.
looking at all the little hints you thought weren't a thing, but ended up being a thing.
And this feels like a show that's going to hold up to rewatching. Like I'm going to want to watch it again. A lot of stuff I don't. I'm one and done. But this one I'll probably watch again.
Well, it's already slated for a second season, so
I'm going to watch that too.
As will I. But of course, because I'm a Star Trek whore.
I wonder.
You could have said fan juice.
No. I'm a Star Trek whore. I admit.
I wonder if, because I don't remember if they announced the second season before filming ended. So I'm always curious when that happens. Like, something gets a second season before the first one even comes out. If that like drastically changes the plan for the back like 2 episodes of the season that's already done. Like, are they going to go back and rewrite some stuff so that there's a plot hook for the second season?
It's either that or they have planned it. They had it planned out so that if season 1 ended and that was it, there could be a finite ending. But if it went on to season 2, the ending of season 1 will still make enough sense to be able to jump to season 2. A lot of TV shows, I believe, do that since they're unsure whether they're going to get renewed or not.
Yeah, Mandalorian did that too. They like season 2 was announced, I think, even before the show premiered. Also, side note, I saw the Cassian Andor show starts filming soon.
Yay!
Yes, I want to see. I love Cassian. He's my favorite character from that movie, from Rogue One. Like seriously, I want to see like a dirty rebel spy movie.
Yes, exactly.
And this Friday, season 7.
Oh yes,
Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I know it's off topic, but I'm gonna take a use my old Patreon badge to talk about a thing for 5 seconds.
Yes.
I get 2 things this Friday that I'm really excited about. So yes, the new season of Clone Wars starts on Friday, which everybody is super psyched about, and I'm super happy to see the Battle of Mandalore and all the good things we see with that. But also, and this definitely isn't your guys' thing because I'm not sure you were into Digimon at all, but Digimon is putting out a new movie on Friday. So it's the kids all grown up, like they're in their 20s or whatever. And the plot is they're going to lose their Digimon because they're not kids anymore. And I'm kind of excited to watch it.
I remember Digimon. It wasn't my thing, but I remember it.
I love OG Digimon. Like a lot.
Definitely after my time, you two go nuts.
But the other thing that I find really weird is that they've also announced that they are going to reboot the OG Digimon updated to 2020, which I also thought was kind of weird, but kind of cool.
Well, that reminds me, the other thing I forgot to write down, the Battlestar Galactica, the new show that's coming out, they're calling it a reboot, some people are calling it a reboot, but apparently it's just going to take place in the Ron Moore 2008 reboot universe.
Oh yeah, I'm just reading that now. That's interesting.
I really need to watch
wonder how that's going to work. Oh my god, we could do a couple of shows just on that. That was such an amazing, groundbreaking foreshadowing of what television is like today, series.
It was so good. And Juice, I am so down for doing a Battlestar Galactica special. We might even be able to get Apollo in here for that one, but I would so do that. At the time, they called it the best show on TV.
I'm pretty sure he'd come running.
It was the best.
As much as running allows.
It was the best show on TV at the time. It was bloody amazing. And yes, I would definitely be down for rewatching all 5 seasons and then talking about it afterward. We'll have to plan that sometime.
All right, I am officially putting that on the docket, so in a couple months we will do a Battlestar special. Did we miss anything with Picard tonight?
So we got Battle Sisters, we got broken down Romulan planet. Interesting to see how it changed from when Picard was there to the lawless squalor that xenophobic squalor that it was when he came the second time. And the fact that the Battle Sisters had Battle Nuns. Sorry. Yeah, nuns, sisters, same thing. The Battle Sisters hadn't really changed their ways, and they still actually looked like they're doing pretty deep.
Well, the other thing that they remembered to include is that Romulans have longer life expectancy than humans do. So it's canonical that it's only been 10 or 15 years that those characters should look exactly the same, with the exception of obviously the child who grew up.
Yeah, so I mean they share since Romulans and Vulcans are essentially the same genetically, since Vulcans live for friggin' ever. It would make sense that Romulans do too.
Space elves.
Except this one uses a sword, not a bow.
The joke I was reading online is that in the Romulan penal system, they just make you a senator so that you die as soon as you come across the main character. I'm curious how many cameos we have left. So, I think we determined that Frakes is in one.
Yep, we still got Frakes and Marina Sirtis yet to come up. Which I'm now curious to see how they're going to fit into this, because, I mean, we've basically got all the crew assembled, so it's now off to the Borg Cube to do Daring Do or whatever they're going to do.
Nope, not Borg Cube yet. They have to go find Dr. What's-His-Face.
Oh, that's right. Yes, so maybe he's on the planet that they're on, so we still have a chance.
My thoughts about the appearance of Riker and Troy is we just sort of assume they're living on Earth. I'm guessing they're not on Earth, and that's a planet that's going to be somewhere along the way.
I'm going to guess Freebird, but that's just my guess.
Free Cloud?
Sorry, Free Cloud. Freebird.
Freebird, yeah.
Maybe they're living on Beta Z.
Oh,
it's possible. I mean, at this point, Riker's only in his mid-50s, so he could still be on a ship. Who knows?
Actually, mid-60s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we're just sort of assuming he's retired because of the preview showing him kind of in a house, but we don't know. We really don't know shit.
Well, he has a big, gigantic beard in the previews, so I'm assuming that he's retired, because even Starfleet, I wouldn't think let you grow beards that big.
Yeah, that's a good clue. That's probably true.
So Riker is actually Jonathan Frakes, the actor, is actually 67.
Yeah, but I meant Riker, the character. Oh, that's another thing I want to point out. So this episode was directed by Riker, and I thought it was actually noticeably better than the other three so far.
I just finished going through a bunch of shows. Leverage, it's like an Ocean's 11 type show from 2012, and Frakes directed a ton of them.
I love Leverage.
Great show.
Absolutely love Leverage.
Great, was in
fantastic.
A bunch.
It was a little formulaic, I will admit.
Totally.
But it was definitely a good show.
The characters were lovable, the stories were fun, but yeah, a lot of them. I mean, Frakes' name's just one of those names you notice in the credits, and he directed a ton of them, and I finally finished all 5 seasons, and I loved them. I'll pack it in for the night. Thanks, boys.
Peace out.
Thank you, sir. We will see you next week, because we've got Picard. We'll have episode 1, season 7 of Clone Wars, and then whatever else they decide to announce this week.
Going to be a Star Trek, Star Wars extravaganza. I love it.
Star Trek versus Star Wars tonight on whatever sports channel you watch.
The winners, us.